amendments have to do with special education. There are a series of amendments that came with this set of amendments. The first one is in the intent section of the scholarship program, and it is on page 34 of the re-engrossed. And it essentially just says that it is the intent of the scholarship program to provide services to all students, including those with special needs. Moving into the section on funding, it talks about how the special education portion of the scholarship program works.
Page 40, right?
It starts on page 40 and goes into page 41. Yes, the engrossed. In the engrossed, the section we're talking about now starts on page 39. So essentially, just to clarify what this amendment does, I'm going to start by just explaining briefly how it works today for a student of a special needs child. A special needs child is evaluated by the district, by a team of professionals, and given what's called an IEP, an individual education plan, and then placed at a school, either a public school, in the district, outside of the district. I've heard even that IEP teams have placed students in other states, or at a private school that can serve their needs. And the placement is really not at the option of the parent. It could be across the district. 45 minutes away, and the point is to meet the requirements of a free and appropriate education. And the parent either can take the placement, or they can challenge the placement and go to court over the placement and challenge whether or not the placement is meeting FAPE. So the two options are take the placement or litigate the placement. What this program does is it says that instead of requiring you to litigate a placement in order to have another option, you can take a scholarship and go to a private school that you choose for your child, and either the private school offers the services, and you can have the services, and the school, if they have the services and the capacity to meet your needs, will offer the services to you, or you can go to a school that doesn't have the services, and then you have to essentially decline the services and acknowledge that the school doesn't have the services. So essentially, we're going from a system where a low-income parent has no options in terms of a placement to a system where a low-income parent can place their student in another option and take a parental placement. And if the school has the service capacity to meet the needs of the child, then they will have their needs met. And if the school doesn't, then the parent can still take that option, knowing that the school does not have the ability to serve their particular need, but can do that, and it is at their choice.
We've got a bunch of questions.
All right.
Senator Clayton.
First of all, I want to thank you all for working on this issue on the other side and acknowledging that this is where I started this morning and went down the wrong track, which, well, actually, right track on the wrong bill, since we're using the railroad analogies. But I said we were here the other day, and everybody else had cleared out, and we finally got to the mothers of the children with disabilities. And it seems that we have a long history of those folks being an afterthought. And I don't think it's ever been intentional, but I want to move them from the back of the line to the front of the line, and that it's our responsibility as government to do the best we can by these folks. So as far as the aspirational part that you're getting in page 34 about the intent, that's great. I like the aspirational part. And then when you get into the text and all these great things that you say in the text, I think that's good as well, but I think it's hollow with the way the MFP stands right now. And I know that this instrument isn't designed to address the MFP. But in my appreciation of the MFP and the exceptionalities that we have in there, that everybody is treated the same. And I'm not the MFP expert, but it seems like an exceptionality that might be able to be addressed with Ritalin is classified as the same as an exceptionality where I need a wheelchair, I need somebody to get me to the classroom, I need somebody to feed me, I need somebody to take my notes. And that's not the same thing, but it looks as though we treat it as the same thing in the MFB. You've made a noble effort here to do something about that and to offer a choice, but I still believe that we got a good ways to go on that, and that this is an instrument. So I'm taking this opportunity to point that out to you, and I guess I'm speaking to Bessie about this issue, and that we have somehow decided to cede our authority to them to come up with a formula on these things. But let's not make these kids last any longer. Thank you.
Senator LaFleur.
I have to go back to another section again about the Fannin Amendment.